Hey, yeah. Hi, it's me here, Bob. I'm gonna give my thoughts on Tna Lockdown. I actually watched the whole event. I was up really late last night, and I looked on someone's YouTube page, and it said, "Oh, there's a stream of it," and it's an alright quality stream. But yeah, I watched most of the event, but it cut off as soon as it got to the main event, some Joe angles, so I watched that today. Okay, Lockdown, yeah, it wasn't great, felt a bit bleak, but it was probably a bit better than an Impact, say. Started off with like a fun X Division match. It was a lot of fun, this one. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed Curryman in it, and even Shark Boy. It's quite funny, but I've noticed how like all of them have some kind of gimmick, these X Division wrestlers, and Consequences Queen look cool. Jay Lethal won by running out of the cage. I like the pinfall elimination style. I think it should have kept on with that. Nonetheless, quite a fun match. Then it was like some woman's gauntlet bullshit thing. This looked ridiculous, like going into it, but once it got down to Roxy Laveau and like that blonde woman, it wasn't too bad, but it was nothing special. And after this, BJ James and Kip James, yeah, just nothing basically. Then there's just cuffed in the cage or something. I think that was next, yeah. And I thought this was fucking, I don't know, this just seemed so ridiculous, this match. Like, just have like wrestlers like stuck there like kind of moths to a light or something. Right, and there's too many people in there, and it was built up like for fucking Kaz and Super Eric and the Relic and the Goldust man. Yeah, Black Rain. It was built up around them, and I don't know, it just seemed really stupid. And like the teams that I wanted in there, like, were cuffed early. Obviously, the teams that a lot of people like, including myself. Oh God, sorry. LAX and Motor City Machine Guns, even Rock and Rave, like, quite cool. Right, but they all got cuffed first. I mean, I could understand something like this if it was like just two tag teams or something, but like there was like something like 5 tag teams or whatever, and it just baffled me. Like, it was just ugh. Then there's like the women's tag match, or Robert Roode and Booker T. Robert Roode and Booker T should have been a singles match in the cage. I don't know why it wasn't. It just seemed a bit pointless, and I hope like they can both move on from this, because like this is a feud I have no interest in whatsoever, and it was just like quite a bleak match. Like, just yeah. There's a women's tag match. This actually was quite cool. What's her name? Russia Saeed or something. She like had a great like kind of presence about her and stuff. And I enjoyed Gail Kim's Hurricanrana off the cage. Nah, but once again, this wasn't a lot of things special. It was just there, but it was like a bit of a ray of light from the X Division match to that. And then there's the Lethal Lockdown. I really enjoyed this for the most part, but it wasn't, once again, it probably wasn't as special as it could have been. I mean, I've turned into like quite a big fan of Christian Cage since he's in TNA. I mean, he's really worked his ass off, and in this match was no exception. Him and AJ had some great exchanges and stuff. And like there was a big spot on the top of the cage. It looked like the anticipation for it was big, but it like kind of fluffed up. But it was risky of them to do it and give it a try. No ladder falling business or whatever. Yeah, this is probably like one of the better matches of the night. and was one of the ones I'm looking forward to. And then there was Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe, which I've just seen today. And this match hits me on a few levels. On one level, it's like it seemed like quite an emotional match, and it just had a lot of grappling and stuff, which like is quite interesting, but it elicits chants of boring and stuff. And I think like if it wasn't so MMA, if they didn't try to make it look so MMA based, and it was just like just a general cage match, like a cage match with a bit of bloodshed, then this could have been a really kick-ass match and could have been like 10 times better. But no, it picked up later towards the end of the match. I thought the finish kind of just didn't really invigorate a lot out of me. It was like, oh, that's it, kind of thing. I think it was quite interesting having that MMA guy on commentary. I preferred hearing him to Don West, and to some extent Mike Tenay. Yeah, and that was it. Samoa Joe won the title. That was cool, I enjoyed that. I think it should have been more of a big deal of it and that, but considering the ending of the match, it didn't seem like a lot of a big deal. Like, it didn't seem like a titanic struggle towards the end, even though it was like meant to play out that way, with like Angle working over Joe's legs or whatever. But yeah, Lockdown, once again, not an overwhelming pay-per-view from TNA. They haven't really had a great pay-per-view this year, as far as I'm concerned. Just meh, pretty much. Not as bad, not as hideous or bad as like some pay-per-views that have been in the past, namely Hard Justice, December to Dismember. Probably on the level of something like Judgment Day from last year, I would have thought. Wasn't good, wasn't like hideously bad. It was just there, and to be honest, I feel sorry for anyone that had to pay for it, like, because I don't know, it wasn't worth paying for. But I don't know, Angle versus Joe and the Lethal Lockdown and the X Division match, they had like moments in them which were fun, and it's probably better, a fair bit better than watching an Impact. But yeah, Lockdown was just there, and hopefully I'm like quite anticipating seeing what Samoa Joe's feud will be for the title, but I'm pretty much banking on an Angle rematch for Sacrifice and Slammiversary. Yeah, these are my thoughts on Lockdown. It was a bit of a meh pay-per-view, but I also watched another hang on a minute. I also watched another pay-per-view within the last 24 hours. This, Heatwave 98 ECW, and this felt like a special event, even though it was probably one of many good ECW events back in the day. And if anyone wants me to review it, leave a comment. I thought that was kick-ass, and pay-per-views should feel special, and Lockdown didn't feel 100% special when it could have been. But nonetheless, I wasn't anticipating it that much, and hopefully TNA will get better at some point, but I'm not like looking for it. I don't rest all my hopes and glories on TNA. TNA can just be, and I'll dip into it, that's fine. Alright, tell me what you think, guys. See you later.